He's a 4-time CFL All-Star. He's a Grey Cup winner. He's a 4-time NFL Pro Bowler. He's one of 9 QBs in the NFL to throw back-to-back 30 touchdown seasons. He engineered the second largest comeback in playoff history in the NFL. He's thrown for over 40,000 total yards. He's thrown for over 275 touchdowns in both leagues. And that's not what impresses me about him. What impresses me about him is what his teammates have to say. So I canvassed a few guys before I flew out yesterday, and this is what they had to say. Jay McNeil, I asked them, just give me one word. I don't want a sentence, I don't want a story, I just want one word to describe him. Jay McNeil, offensive lineman. He said he's the toughest guy I've ever played with. Bruce Covington, another offensive lineman, said he's the most intense guy I ever played with. Stu Laird, a defensive lineman, said he's the biggest competitor I ever played with. Jamie Crysdale said, and who's an offensive lineman, he said he's just a winner. Matt Finley said he's fearless. And Jeff's good buddy Vince Danielson said he's opportunistic. And I thought, well, that's not really too cool of a word, opportunistic. But when you think about it, when Vince went into the background, at every level that Jeff's played at, he's never been the shining star. He's earned every inch, every yard, every opportunity he's earned. And he's always had just a little small window. When he went to San Jose State, he had a little window to prove himself. He came up to Calgary. He had Doug Flutie and Steve Taylor ahead of him. He had a window. He took that window and he threw for 6 touchdowns and 550 yards in his first opportunity. He went to the NFL where Steve Young was playing for the 49ers. He had a window, an opportunity to prove himself. It was easy to throw him on the junk heap, but he always makes the best of it. And those are intangibles that you just can't teach into a guy. All those descriptors that his teammates described him as, his ability to take opportunity and take it to the highest level, he's a really special man. And that doesn't even impress me. What really impresses me, he's a humble dude. If you didn't see his get-up and his laid-back attitude, you'd think he's from the prairies. He cares about people. He never forgets where he comes from. He has time he's just an ordinary folk that happened to play quarterback, and that's what I love about him. He has 4 kids. His 4th child, a month or 2 old, when Corey Toms asked me to reach out to Jeff to see if he'd come to this breakfast, I said, Corey, man, he's got 4 kids under the age of 4. I don't think he's coming to any breakfast. Lives in California. He's got better things to do. Really, he does. But Jeff never forgets where he comes from. Jeff and I met when we were in Calgary when I was in the media and he was playing. So I reached out and I said, hey, Jeff, do you mind coming up and doing this breakfast for U of S? It would be really touching if you would come. And he said, yeah, I'll make it happen. That's what impresses me about Jeff Garcia, that he takes time out of his schedule to do a favor for one of his friends and come give us a good story. And I'd just like you to put your hands together and welcome Jeff up. Good Saskatchewan welcome.
First of all, thank you very much for having me, Marshall Toner. Man, how much do I owe you for that speech? God, you almost brought a tear to my eye. I tell you what, just being here is awesome. This is awesome. To see the support that this community gives this university is tremendous. Growing up in California, growing up in the States, you see a lot of big-time college football. I went to a Division I college football program. I don't think I've ever, sometimes I don't even know if I saw this many people in the stands, but to see them at a breakfast or a dinner, to support a program, to support these young men, these boys who are about to go on a journey into becoming men. And a lot of that, obviously, is attributed to the consistency, the greatness of Coach BT and everything that he has stood for this university, for this city, for this province. It just shows greatness. And you all should be thanked tremendously for what you do for this program. That song, I'm sorry ladies, I'm not Tim McGraw, but that song that was on, that I asked for them to play that song, and the meaning behind it was, how many of you really live like you were dying? And when I say that, I mean, how many of you really take advantage of every single day that you have on this earth? Life is so precious, so precious. And let me tell you a little story about my life. I was born and raised in Gilroy, California. Some of you may know about it because it's the garlic capital of the world, and I'll stay about 10 feet away from you just in case you smell garlic on me. But I was born and raised in this farming community on a 4-acre ranch. We had cows, we had pastures, chickens. I think they were the neighbors. They somehow came into our yard. We had dogs, we had animals. And part of everyday life was getting up, changing the pipes, feeding the cows, doing those chores that allowed our home to sustain itself. Beside that, my dad was a football coach. My dad was a football coach at the junior college level in my hometown at a junior college called Gavilan Junior College. And let me go back a second. Gilroy is 30 miles south of San Jose. It's about an hour south of San Francisco, just to give you a picture of where Gilroy is. And, very humble beginnings. Little did you know, but I almost had to cross 2 borders to get here. I'm half Mexican. I know I don't look it, but I'm half Mexican, and that's from my dad's side. My grandparents immigrated from Mexico. And, from my dad's side, early on in life, I really learned what hard work and dedication was all about. In order for him to get to being a college football coach, to being an instructor, to being just a father figure for these kids, much like BT is for the kids that come through the University of Saskatchewan, he had to overcome a lot of obstacles in his life, a lot of hurdles, a lot of walls, he had to climb some mountains. And, my grandma was a hard-working woman. She worked the fields. Whatever season it was, whatever crop it was, the kids were outside. They were picking cucumbers, tomatoes, whatever it was. However it was to contribute to the family, the kids were going to do that. My dad had 7 sisters and a brother, family of 9. Most of the sisters were older. Fortunately, they became kind of his nurturing parent in a sense, and really stressed the importance of education. And for my dad, the importance of education was that he got to go to school and play sports. And that was his big thing in life, was loving sports and wanting to stay in school because it gave him an opportunity to play, to get out of the fields, to not be stuck just really in that manual labor, that chores in the hot sun on a daily basis. As much as Grandma would have loved for him to contribute financially, I mean, he was a young boy, and he went to school and eventually achieved and continued to climb and achieve and go on to college and get a degree, and came back to Gilroy to be the coach at the junior college. And I saw that at an early age. I saw the dedication that my dad had for the game of football, but more importantly, for the kids that he worked with. And like I said, he became a father figure for many of these kids. I went through some tough, difficult times early on as a child. At 7 years old, I lost a brother. He was a year and 11 days younger than me in a tragic accident, an unfortunate drowning incident. A year and a half later, I lost a sister who was 3 years younger than me in another accident, unfortunate, a car incident. Wasn't even an accident of cars crashing, it was an incident. And to lose my brother and my sister, really my best friends, at the age of 8, made me question God. It made me question life. my existence on this in this life, on this earth? Why wasn't it me? Why did it happen to them? Why did it happen to our family? It made me question a lot of things about life. And I think there are two ways that you can take that, in a sense. And granted, as a young boy, back in the 70s, there wasn't childhood counseling. There weren't those things maybe that I was aware of, and I wasn't really seeking out, and I don't think my parents were seeking those things out. But how do we deal with something so devastating? So devastating to see my parents, to see the pain that they were going through at that time in my life, really made me think about how I wanted to live my life. I already had an understanding at a young age, at too young of an age, how precious life is. And it started to make me think about how you really need to take advantage of your daily life. Take advantage of being able to breathe that morning when you wake up. To be able to do great things in life. And it started that climb for me. It started that climb to really look to be a better person. How could I put a smile on my mom's face? How could I bring happiness to this family? And a lot of that was done through sports. A lot of that was our weekend getaways to the football field, to the baseball diamond, to the basketball court. Whatever function, whatever sport it was, I was playing it. And on those weekends, instead of thinking about some of the sad things that have happened, we started to look at the fun things that were taking place on the field, on the court, in the diamond, bringing the family together to support me in my games. And it really became a bonding thing. And I knew with sport, another side of that was doing well in school. It was important for me to be a good student. I was trying anything and everything to not disappoint or discourage my parents. And that was just my inner self speaking, saying, what can I do to make this a better situation? What have I learned from what I just went through in order to change my ways to create a better outcome or to create greatness within myself as to what I could personally achieve? And that, again, got me going. It got me going to that point come high school time. I was a good athlete. I was a pretty decent athlete, but my mental ability to play a game was much more ahead of my physical ability, meaning that I was a very smart athlete because I understood the game, but physically I still had to develop. I came out of my senior year of high school. I played in a high school all-star game. The coaches, they didn't know how great a quarterback I was back then. They played me at safety on defense. And, I said, hey, coach, wherever I can play, I'll play, man. And you know what? My high school coach wouldn't let me play safety because I was the only quarterback on the team. So this gave me a chance to hit somebody else instead of somebody hitting me. And I'm sorry about those Saskatchewan highlights earlier. I thought Bobby Jurison was going to come hit me in the back of the neck. I was looking around like this. But I went on to play 1 year of football for my dad at the junior college level. Like I said, wasn't recruited out of high school, didn't get the scholarship offers. As much as I felt like I was a pretty good player, I was an all-league player, I just didn't have those opportunities. So I went and played for my dad at the junior college level, and what a great experience that was. Growing up around my dad and watching him coach these young guys, like I said, it wasn't so much the NFL or CFL, and I knew about CFL back then because my dad had a pipeline of players coming from Calgary, and actually there's a great coach in Regina, Ron Cherkis, who played for my dad back in the 70s. So I knew these guys from Canada coming down to Gilroy, playing for my dad, and how my dad would just inspire these young kids. And I idolized those guys. They were 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, just like a lot of these players in this room today. But man, as a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, being the ball boy for his team, I idolized these guys. I wanted to be just like them. I wanted to play for my dad too. I wanted to get fired up on his speeches, pregame speeches, just get excited, the hair raised on the back of your neck, just fired up, ready to get out there and play football, to hit somebody, to get after it. And I had that opportunity. And I'm telling you, it was one of the greatest opportunities in my life to be able to share that with my dad. Now, it wasn't always the most pleasant of opportunities. We definitely had some battles, but the outcome was that it led to a scholarship for me to San Jose State. But just to share one battle we had, we're playing a game. We're up actually late in the season. We were really rolling, playing great football. We're up 35-7, I think, at this point in the game. Third quarter of the game, he calls a pass play. It's incomplete. He calls the same pass play again. It's incomplete. Same pass play, third time in a row, it's intercepted. I come off the field. I'm not real happy. Not real happy with the play calling, coach. I mean, what? Come on, same play 3 times in a row. So his words at that time was, "You better." My dad likes to grit his teeth. "You better calm down. You better calm your ass down. No, you calm down. No, you calm down. No, you calm down. Sit your ass on the bench." Fine. I go sit down on the bench, take my helmet off, I put it right next to me. Defense forces a fumble, offense is on the field. We only have one quarterback on our team. Where the hell's the quarterback? Hey, where's Jeff at? Where's Jeff at? He's sitting on the bench, coach. Dad comes over to me. "What are you doing?" "You told me to sit on the bench." "Get your ass back on the field." "All right, coach." No, but you know what? We could sit, we can look back, we can reminisce, and we can laugh, we can share in the experiences. And, he's a competitor. He's one of the greatest competitors that I've ever been around. And so much of that, and don't get me wrong, my mom was a tremendous contributor to my makeup as well. And the combination of the two really instilled a spirit within me that I was not going to be denied. If I had a goal that I wanted to go after, if I had a dream, I was going to do anything and everything to accomplish that goal, to catch that dream. I didn't try to put something out there that was so far-fetched or so far out of reach that it just wasn't reasonable. But when I stepped on the field as a football player, on that field, I wanted to be the best quarterback on that field. Now, granted, I'm not going against the other quarterback. I'm going against the defense. But I wanted to be the best player at my position on the field that day. And I took that attitude, and as my body started to catch up with my mind, things started to happen on the field. And I started to make things happen in a positive way. And slowly, I started to grow into the player that I was about to become. And along that same way, to receive a scholarship to San Jose State University to continue my education, to pursue a degree, was something that was very important to me. It was something that I saw my dad go out and do. It was something that I saw my family seek to achieve. And for me, to now take that pressure off of my dad, off of my mom, that burden, that financial responsibility, I was fortunate. I was blessed. I was blessed that somebody recognized my abilities. I was blessed that I did enough work in the classroom to get me to that next level. And I was blessed to have the people around me that continued to push me to strive, to be better every single day. But I know the one thing that I had within me that maybe sets some of us apart is that driving fire to be the best. that only you know how hard you have to try, how much you have to bring out from within yourself to be the best. And I watch those videos of these young guys at the University of Saskatchewan, and they talk about the brotherhood. They talk about the family experience, the life of being around each other, the expectations to rise up to the challenge that is set in front of you, to come together as a team, to have that one common goal that you're seeking to accomplish at the end of the season is what is so great about this game. And so great about what these kids are experiencing here as Husky football players. They have a bond that is unparalleled. They have a bond that they understand is so important and so necessary in order to have success on the field. And how is success measured? If you go out and give everything that you have to give from within your heart, your soul, from within your body, that's a measure of success. It's not always about who wins and who loses. It's about how much effort you put into what you're trying to do. It's about willing your way. It's about fighting the fight. It's about honesty. It's about integrity. It's about perseverance. If there's a mountain, I want to climb that mountain. I'm going to push it. I'm going to shove it. I'm going to punch it. I'm going to do whatever I can to get to the top of that mountain. That's just the way that I'm wired. That's the way that I'm built. And if I can inspire people to be greater around me, if I can inspire them to get excited about what they're doing in life, to be better people, to be greater givers in life, to reach back and lend a helping hand to somebody who maybe is not as blessed as them, or maybe struggling, maybe going through a difficult time, then we are doing a service in life. If we look at every single day and we lived it like we didn't have tomorrow, we may have a better place to live from the standpoint of all of us trying to do better things in life. And what you're doing here today is a mark of that excellence of what you see as being important in your lives, to be able to contribute to a young man's journey from young man into manhood, to continue to achieve, to go out there and earn an education, earn a degree, to have a chance in life. And young players, understand what this is all about. These people here today are here to lift you up, to give you a chance, to help you rise above what a lot of other kids wish that they could have as an opportunity. Don't miss out on that opportunity. When Marshall talked about my good buddy Vince Danielson saying that I was opportunistic, without a doubt, that is a quality that I do believe is within me. Did I always have that quality? I don't know. I don't know any other way. All I know is that when there was something that I wanted to do, I was going to tackle it full-heartedly. My heart and soul was going to be into it. And that's how you have to approach this experience, young men, as you're about to go through this. You have to tackle it. You have to take it head on. You can't look back 5, 10 years from now and wish that you would have done things differently. Wish that you would have taken advantage of the opportunity. For some of us, there are no second chances. To tell you how close I was 18 years ago to finding another job, I'm telling you, the writing was on the wall. I was in Calgary battling to be the third-string quarterback on a team with another rookie. Coming out at, let me take one step back. San Jose State. Record-breaking career. I had 3 head coaches in 3 years. Battled that adversity, fought through it. Our teams didn't always have the greatest records, but we battled. I did the best that I could do. Played in the East-West Shrine game with a wonderful gentleman who's a Saskatchewan Husky player and coach. Mr. Cirque was my teammate back in 1994 at the East-West Shrine game. We're down 28-7 with 6.5 minutes left in the game. I'm playing in the fourth quarter. Fortunately, I have an opportunity to be part of, I think in looking back, is probably one of the bigger East-West Shrine comebacks in their history. And to share that with my fellow Canadian is definitely an honor and a privilege. But that game on that stage, amongst all these other potential NFL recruits and talents, I felt I found a way to rise to the top. We battled back, down 21 points, 6.5 minutes left. We marched down 3 touchdowns. I run in for a 2-point conversion with a minute plus left in the game to take the lead 29-28. I come out of that game thinking, well, shoot, maybe this will give me a chance at the NFL. Didn't give me a chance. My head coach from college was like, well, he's not the biggest guy, not the strongest arm, may not have this, may not have that. But you know what, coach? I got a big heart, and I got the mind that tells me that I can do anything that I want to do. And if you challenge me to do something on a positive note, I'm going to fight my way to do it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to lead. I'm going to be a great leader on the field, and it's not because of what I say, it's because of what I do. And that's what makes a great leader, is by leading through example, through walking the walk, not talking the talk. It's nice if you can walk the walk and then say a little something. Sure, that's always nice. It's always nice to get people excited about what they're doing in life and to get them to rise up, but you need to be able to show it, exemplify it. And the opportunity didn't come from the NFL. Didn't get a sniff, didn't get a call. Fortunately, Calgary gave me a shot. And like I was saying, the writing was on the wall. We had one preseason game that I was going to get to play in. I had one quarter, the fourth quarter. Going into the game, from what I have just recently found out, I was going to get cut after this game. I was going to be released by the Calgary Stampeders. I went into that game, and Marshall will tell you, in practice, I didn't look like a pro quarterback. I couldn't throw a spiral with this Canadian football that we were playing with back then. It was a Spalding or something like that. I was like, gosh, this ball is terrible. Give me a new ball, man. But no, I was struggling. I was struggling with being the player that I needed to be. And I went into that one game, the fourth quarter. It's 14-14. We march down. 2 touchdowns later, we win the game 28-14. The coach now, John Huffnagel, battles for them not to cut me. He keeps me. I make the team. The next year, Doug Flutie goes down with an injury mid-season. I step in. We go 8-1 with me as a starter. We make it to the Grey Cup that year, which Doug eventually came back late in the season. We play right here in Regina at Taylor Field in the Grey Cup. Again, opportunities, especially at this level, are so rare. So rare. Opportunities in life are so rare. You have to be ready to take advantage of the opportunity. You have to be ready to strike. You have to be like that cobra when you see something that gets in your vision that you just snap at it. You have to be prepared mentally, physically, especially when you play this game. But most importantly in life, mental preparation is key to taking advantage of opportunities. Don't let opportunities pass you by. I always have believed if somebody gives me a crack in the door, I'm going to blow that door open. I tell you what, I am not going to be denied. Yes, I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the strongest arm. But you know what? Say some more things about me, because you know what? It's fuel to my fire. Keep shoveling coal into my fire. I love it. because this freight train is rolling. And don't get in front. Jump on board if you want. Don't get in front. I'll run you over. And that's how I've lived my life. I've lived my life about opportunities are rare. Let's be prepared to take advantage of the opportunity. Young men, you have a chance to come to a great university, to earn an education, to be a part of a great tradition where alumni presence is so evident. 10 of the 12 coaches played for the University of Saskatchewan. BT, 30 plus years, 38 years with playing involved or whatever it may be. I mean, the guy has dedicated himself to you, young men. Don't let these people down. Don't let yourself down, most importantly. When it comes to looking in the mirror and asking yourself, did you do everything that you could do in order to be great in your own eyes? Really be honest with yourself. Really reach down. Find a way to dig deep. Take advantage of the opportunity. Persevere. Fight for it. Do what's right. Be a great giver in life. Live an honest life with integrity. Have a zest for life, because life can be taken from you in a heartbeat. And it's not that I want you to live in fear of that end of the tunnel. What I want you to live with is greatness in making the most out of every single day. You live that way, you will live a greater life. You will contribute to lives around you to being greater. You will inspire people to be better. You will pick people up to follow your same path. And there will be no path of resistance, because you will fight through it. At every difficult turn, at every difficult roadblock, you will fight through it, because you will know no other way than to be the best. And only you can be that measure of excellence as to what you think is the best and what you believe is the best. And only you can be truly honest with yourself in measuring that. And I just want to leave you with this today, that this has been such a great opportunity for me to come and just share a story. And my Canadian experience, the 5 years that I spent in Calgary, were of the greatest years of my professional experience, 5 of the greatest years of my life. The people that I had the opportunity, the pleasure to be around, people of the background, the Canadian citizens that embraced me as one of their own. I can't thank them enough. When I went to the NFL and had that opportunity, and again, found a way to take advantage and rise to the top, I was playing for you. I was playing for the Canadian Football League, for the people of Canada, for the people of Calgary, all the people that supported me through this journey in the Canadian Football League. And I never wanted to let you down. I never wanted to let myself down, but in doing that, in thinking that, I felt like I had a role to play. And I wanted to represent you in the finest way that I could do that, with my abilities on the field and my actions off the field. And I just want to give you great thanks in the support that you have always given us American players who come up here into Saskatchewan, into Alberta, into the different provinces, play for the different teams. We appreciate the opportunity so much. And I know that not enough of us are able to give our thanks back to you, but we do appreciate you, and we appreciate the opportunity. And I'll tell you one thing, one last story. When I was playing for the Houston Texans this year, I'm 41 years old, I'm on the couch. We're about to have our 4th child, and the phone rings. Jeff, you want to come play football for the Houston Texans? I'm like, what? Let me put some oil on this arm. I mean, where's the grease at? I haven't thrown the ball in 6 months. I stay in shape. I like to stay in shape. All of that, fine. But are you serious? You want me to come and play football? I'm 41 years old, about to have a 4th child. All right, Sure, where do I sign? Where do I sign? Actually, I said, first ask my wife. She'll give you the go-ahead. No, so I went to Houston. It was an honor. It was an honor because this team, who was on a playoff run, their first playoff run in the existence of the Houston Texans, they asked this 41-year-old guy to come help their young quarterback out. And to me, that just showed the respect that I had gained throughout the years that I had played the game. Because of my passion, because of my integrity, because of my vision, my direction, and how that was so important to me to represent that on the field. They gave me that chance, and I was honored. And I'm on the sidelines warming up pregame for the playoff game. Cincinnati Bengals came into town for the playoffs. And it's a sea of blue and red and the Houston Texan colors. And then here are 5 guys in Saskatchewan Rough Rider jerseys standing on the sideline. And I'm like, this isn't Taylor Field. Are you guys lost or what? But you know what? You go anywhere and everywhere, and you're going to show your pride, and that is just awesome. And I went over there. I took a picture. Hey, a couple of the guys might be here today because they knew I was coming to the dog breakfast back then. They knew I was going to be here. So, you know, it was great to see that. They stuck out like a sore thumb. I mean, you would have found them anywhere in the stands with those jerseys on. But it was just great to see that. And you know what? It wasn't about Calgary versus Saskatchewan that day. It was about, I was a CFL player. I was a Canadian for 5 years. I was somebody who represented Canada when I played in the NFL. And I loved that. I loved having that opportunity to represent you guys. And I hope I did that a justice in what I did on the field. And most importantly, I appreciate the opportunity to come back and speak today and hopefully inspire these young kids to just, if you grab just a couple things out of what I said, to just be greater, to find a way to be greater in your community, to be greater for your school, to be greater for your mom and dad, to be greater for your brother and sister, to find a way to be better, to dig deep inside, to be the best that you can be. That's all you can ask of yourself. You can't compare yourself to somebody else. You have to be the best that you can be. And I wish you all the luck in the world. 3 Vanier Cups. Let's get a 4th this year. Let's get after it. Let's get excited. Where do I sign up? I have eligibility left. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
About the options and talking about sweet time. I asked him when it sank in that this might really be the real end. How's it hit you when you get that kind of news? Man, what you do? And he said, I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing.
Thank you so much.